Hi everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to my Greek kitchen. Today we're going to be making a delicious Greek dessert. We're going to be making Karydopita. And Karydopita is a walnut cake with a lovely fragrant syrup. Let's have a look at the ingredients. For the Karydopita, we will need 3 eggs, 150 grams of custard sugar, 150 ml of melted butter, a shot of cognac, so I have here about 20 ml of cognac, Greek of course, 300 grams of self-raising flour, 100 grams of walnuts that I have placed in the blender, so ground walnuts, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground clove, half a teaspoon of baking powder. And for the syrup, we will need 400 ml of water, 300 grams of custard sugar, the juice of 1 orange, so about 50 ml of fresh orange, and 1 cinnamon stick. Are you ready? I'm ready. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the syrup. So in a pan, we're going to add our water, cinnamon stick, sugar, and our fresh orange juice. Okay, we're going to put this in a high heat and bring it up to the boil. When it comes up to the boil, we're going to turn it down to simmer and we're going to let it simmer for 15 minutes until the syrup has thickened a little. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to preheat the oven at 170 degrees centigrade. And the oven is preheating, our syrup is doing its thing. In a bowl, I have cracked my 3 eggs and I'm going to add my sugar and I'm going to whisk them really well until they are nice, light and fluffy. Here we are. While I've been whisking my eggs, the syrup has come up to the boil. I'm going to turn it down now to simmer. I'm going to put the lid on and leave it here to do its thing for about 15 minutes. But I have to show you this. Can you see how light and fluffy the eggs and the sugar have become? So as I said, I've been whisking this for about 5 minutes. The next thing I'm gonna do while whisking is I'm gonna add my butter. And what I've done here, I've melted the butter and I've just put it in a little glass to cool down because you don't want hot butter to heat the eggs. They will start cooking. So make sure that your butter is melted and cold. And I'm gonna now slowly add it into my mixture. I've added the melted butter. The last thing we're going to add is our cognac. This has been easy so far, you have to admit. I'm showing you easy recipes to make. The next thing we're going to do is our flour. We're going to add the baking powder into the flour. We're going to give it a quick mix. And we're going to add all this into our bowl. Every little bit. Next thing we're gonna add the ground cloves and the cinnamon, and they smell absolutely amazing. And the star of the show, the ground walnuts. And we're gonna give everything a mix. I cannot tell you how divine, absolutely divine it smells. Here we are. I've mixed everything really well together and we're ready. It smells fantastic. Okay, so I have here my baking tin. This is a 20 centimeter baking tin and I have lined it with grease-proof paper and I'm gonna add my mixture into my tin. We're ready. The cake is ready for the oven and it's gonna bake for about 30 to 40 minutes. But you need to make sure that you use a little skewer to poke it. If the skewer comes out clean, that means it has cooked. So 30 to 40 minutes, we're gonna check it, okay? And the syrup is still cooking, so we need to make sure that the syrup is cool when the cake comes out of the oven hot, because we're gonna put all this lovely syrup on top of the hot cake. We're ready. 40 minutes have passed. My syrup has cooled down and I have used my skewer and I know that my cake is cooked. The next thing we need to do is take the cake out of the oven and look at this. It smells divine. Next thing we're gonna do is with our skewer, we're gonna just come a little bit closer. Can you see? My skewer comes out nice and lovely. And we're gonna just poke the cake all over. Can you see? We need to do this so the syrup goes everywhere. And this will take a little bit of patience because we want the syrup to get completely absorbed by the cake. So very, very gently, can you see? And you can use a ladle for this. I've done it quite a few times, so very gently pour the syrup, the cold syrup, onto warm cake and make sure that you let it absorb. This makes me happy and I hope it will make you happy too. Just seeing the syrup get absorbed by this delicious smelling and tasting cake, it just, yeah, it makes me happy. Now, here we go. I finished all my syrup, and as I said, you can use a ladle or you can put your syrup in a jug and gently pour it, but it needs to be a gentle pour so the syrup gets absorbed slowly by the cake. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna leave it here to do its own thing, to let the syrup really mix with the cake, and then possibly after a couple of hours we're gonna take it off this tin and put it on a nice plate and make a cup of tea or a coffee and enjoy it. This is my Karydopita, my Greek walnut cake. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and I'll see you here next time for some more Greek cooking. Take care, see you soon.